Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Dial, and welcome back to Stay on the Watch. It's been a long time since we've done Stay on the Watch, but I'm sure you've been seeing a lot of movement on the channel. We're developing some new shows. We have Off the Clock with Matt. We see that a lot of our viewers, a lot of our friends are enjoying that, so we appreciate the support. We appreciate you leaving a like and commenting and engaging with Matt, and it seems like he's a fan favorite, and it seems like everyone wants to replace us now, me and old Daniel. But I mean, yeah, honestly guys, on a real note, really thank you for all that. We're actually coming up to, if depending on when this video drops, it's either it'll be we would have crossed 500 subscribers or we would be close, so thank you in advance. Just by the way, we sure do have some plans for that, and honestly, we're also coming up on a year. Wow, it's been an amazing journey, but anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. Let's just get that straight out of the way. I'm here to talk about the history of a very, very important watch brand that sometimes I feel like they are undeservedly left out of conversations when we talk about watches. And I'm talking about the brand Breitling, the history of Breitling. Now, throughout this video, I'm going to take you through a whistle-stop tour of how Breitling started and their modern innovations today. And I'm also going to give you 4 reasons why we should actually include them more in our conversations when we speak about them. So, Chapter 1, Humble Beginnings. Breitling is a name synonymous with precision, adventure, and aviation. From the cockpit to the deep sea, as we will see in this video, this Swiss watchmaker has brought a legacy of innovation and excellence. But how did it all begin? Let's move on to Chapter 2, the birth of chronographs. Breitling and chronographs go together hand in hand, and they're one of the leading watch brands that developed the chronograph. So our story starts in 1884 when the founder, Leon Breitling, a talented Swiss watchmaker, opened a workshop in St. Emir, Switzerland. Now, what was his goal? His goal was to create precise timepieces for sports, science, and the general industry. But he was actually, and in fact, little did he know that he was laying the foundation for one of the world's most iconic watch brands. It started with a man with a dream. You can always appreciate that. Let's go to Chapter 3. Let's start in the earliest 20th century. Now, this time it was a time of war. In fact, World War I was going on, and a lot of the countries decided to go to war. Now, when you go to war, you need the right equipment. Now, Breitling decided to come into this by developing a chronograph that can help with measuring time, especially for pilots. Now, Breitling had become a leader in chronograph watches with stopwatch functions. In 1915, the brand introduced one of the first wrist-worn chronographs with a separate push piece for starting and stopping time. Now, this innovation revolutionized timekeeping, especially for pilots and sportsmen. Now, let's move further past the early 1900s into the more mid-1900s. In Chapter 4, the Navy time era. Now, let's pick it up in 1940. In 1940, Breitling released one of their oldest watch brands, their Premier watch line. One of their oldest watch lines, their Premier watch lines. And in 1952, that was really the year that changed everything. Breitling introduced the Navy timer, a watch designed specifically for pilots. With its built-in slide rule, pilots would and could calculate flight times, fuel consumption, and more from all the wrist. Now, this watch became a legend, and it was worn by pilots and even astronauts. Chapter 5, Underwater Exploration. So now we've seen Breitling from humble beginnings, taking to the skies, and now going underwater. Now, in 1957, they launched the Super Ocean, a dive watch that is designed for professional divers. Sometimes I always wondered to myself, what was it like talking to someone in 1957 and saying, "Hey, I'm a professional diver." I wonder what that was like. I wonder how the equipment differed from today's diver's profession. Interesting to note. So, now the super ocean had a lot of water resistance and durability for its time, and it actually quickly became a favorite among underwater explorers and adventurers. Chapter 6: The Quartz Crisis and Revival. Like most Swiss watch brands, the quartz crisis is something that most Swiss watch brands didn't see coming. And we've actually discussed it a lot on the channel with the rise of the quartz and the rise of the Seiko introducing those quartz movements. It was a real crisis in the times of the 1970s. So, in the crisis of the 1970s, cheap quartz watches threatened the mechanical watch industry. However, in 1979, the watchmaker Ernest Schneider acquired Breitling and led a remarkable revival. The brand adapted, innovated, and re-established itself as a powerhouse in luxury watchmaking. And you actually have to give applause to that, because a lot of watch companies during the 1970s died because they refused to innovate and to get with the times. But Breitling was not one of those watch companies, and I'm so grateful. And now we move on to the final chapter. Today, let's zoom into today. Chapter 7: Modern Innovations. Now, today, Breitling continues to push boundaries of design and technology. From their high-tech, lovable emergency watch with a built-in distress beacon to eco-friendly initiatives, the brand is evolving while staying true to its aviation and its adventure heritage. And I know that emergency watch is a cult favorite. I'm actually starting to fall in love with it. Ideally, the first time I saw it, I didn't quite understand it. But then after I did some research, I saw some videos, yeah, that is amazing. I really, really like that watch. So we've gone through a whistle-stop tour of the history of Breitling, but now let's discuss 4 reasons why we should take Breitling serious in our conversations. Now, the first one is their aviation and chronograph expertise. Now, as we've discussed before, Breitling has a rich history of innovation in aviation, watches, and especially chronographs. Their Navitimer that was introduced in 1952 remains one of their most iconic pilot watches, with its signature slide rule bezel for flight calculations. They've also been strong pioneers in chronograph movements, including the first self-winding chronograph in 1969. Also, just to add, Breitling in, I think, around 1935 also changed their crown alignment when it came to the chronograph from the 2 o'clock to the 4 o'clock. So I believe the pushes started with the start timer for the chronograph at the 2, and the reset crown was put at the 4. So they helped arrange that order, and those are the kind of things that you see in today's modern watches. You see your main crown, and then you'd see your chronograph movements on the 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock. So they helped develop that. Just an FYI. The second thing is high quality in-house movements. Breitling has invented in its in-house movements, like the Breitling Manufacture Caliber 01, and it's known for its precision, durability, and 70-hour power reserve. That's almost 3 days. And many of their watches are COSC certified, which ensures top-tier accuracy. Now, the third reason why we should include Breitling in our conversations is their superior build quality and design. Breitling watches are built to last, often featuring rugged cases such as 100-meter water resistance and top-tier finishing. Their designs balance boldness and functionality, making them a strong choice for professionals and watch enthusiasts. And the fourth reason why we need to take Breitling more seriously is that Breitling has gained momentum from their past to their recent years under the leadership of the CEO Georges Kern, and Georges Kern managed to modernize their lineup while keeping their heritage alive. It's actually quite a difficult thing to do. Now, models like the Navi Timer and the Chronomat hold strong resale value, and vintage Breitlings are becoming more and more collectible. So, from the cockpit to the ocean depths, Breitling has carved timepieces that have shaped history. It embodies precision, innovation, adventure. So whether you're a pilot, diver, watch enthusiast, or a YouTuber that likes to make videos about watches that he can't afford, Breitling is for you. Breitling's for everyone. What is your favorite Breitling model? I'd love to hear in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe, and yeah, we'll definitely be coming to you with more incredible watch stories. But that's all from me for now, and never forget to stay on the watch.